Do you suffer from anxiety when going live? It's such a common problem and can really stop us from succeeding in our business and finding our dream clients that can become our friends. Remember to subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when a new video comes out. So by the end of this video, you will learn why going live is great, and you'll learn 3 tips from Jen Griffiths' story and experience that will enable you to go live and succeed. If we haven't met, I'm Katie Simpson from the Thrive with Live show, and I've struggled with ill health, trauma and lack of self-worth. And I now love putting my voice and face out there, and I want that for you too. So let's get into it.
So basically, I'm coming from a very anxious background where I've had an anxiety disorder since I was 13. And it was only diagnosed when I was 27.
Oh, right.
So back in 2013, I was diagnosed. And it was like, up until then, people would just say, stop being silly, grow out of it, snap out of it. Whatever you don't say to an anxious person, it was said to me. And I didn't know why I got so worked up about stuff when other people didn't, and there was no help out there. So I ended up as an adult not being able to ask for help because thinking there wasn't any help, I was just stuck like that. And then I finally got diagnosed, and it was like, oh, have counselling, that'll solve it. But it didn't help at all. I tried mindfulness, but I was constantly distracted. I just didn't know who I was anymore. Was anxious at everything. I was literally scared of everything. It came to a head when I ended up in hospital because I've been living off sugar to stay awake.
Oh.
I literally ran away and said, nope, you're not touching me.
Right.
So it was the kick I needed to wake up, basically. And from that, I lost the weight. Then lockdown hit. Now, I was convinced I was going to lose my entire piano business overnight because of lockdown. Because I had actually lost most of my piano business, because I'm on Anglesey, and not everyone has decent internet on Anglesey, so not everyone could have online lessons. So I lost 2/3 of my business, which meant little income for most of lockdown. How can I use that?
Yeah.
So I used my diligence and my consistency to learn consistently through lockdown, and by the end of 2020, I knew what I wanted. I developed my mindset enough to turn it around. I think I pivoted in the summer, about July 2020, and that's roughly when I found Popsy, which are the dresses that I wear.
Yeah.
And I started wearing Popsy dresses, started going live in my den. So 8th of May 2020 was the first time I went live.
In your den.
Yeah. Well, Jen's musical self-care den. Yeah. I always call it Jen's den because it rhymes, and I'm a secret poet as well. But yeah, I started going live on 8th of May and I was shaking like a leaf. So it was the kind of, I was forced by my team to go out of my comfort zone. So they're like, do a video, do something. So I did a pre-recorded video, stressed myself out all day about it, and I posted it. And I was just like, I look rubbish. It was read off a script. It was just so bad. But I posted it and they're like, right, one step further is go live. Press that go button. Just do it. So 8th of May 2020, I went live. I did a prize draw. I looked like a rabbit in headlights. I've got the screenshot of my, going live the first time. I look absolutely terrified. But I pressed go. That was the key thing. And I used my diligence and consistency, and I made the plan then to go live every single Thursday lunchtime. And I'm still doing it.
Excellent. What kept you going to do that every single week?
Well, my tips for that is you've got to start somewhere. If you never start, you're never going to make progress. And even the tiniest bit of progress is progress. You don't have to be at the end game straight away. If you're running a group, showing up every day if you can is quite important because you're getting visible with your community then. Yeah. And as I say, progress building is the important bit there. My other tip is if you're shy about going live in your group, you've got a community, say you've got 90 people who are used to you not going live, and then suddenly you decide you need to go live. to promote more. You can always set up a group of just you in it and practice in your own space, or you can get like a trusted brother or sister or best friend and just have two of you in a group and you can sound off each other. And that's one way to do it. I haven't done that myself. I just went for it because I was like, I'm not going to make any sales if I don't go live. So it was only once I started going live, people started to actually notice and sort of connect with me on a more personal level. And the third tip is people buy from people. They're not buying your stuff, they're buying from you. So you need to create that trust with you, that people want to go to you specifically, especially with your if you're network marketing. Because with Neil's Yard, there's a lot of Neil's Yard consultants. Why pick you specifically? Why pick me? It depends whether people align with me, whether they like what I do, and they'll come to me.
And live video is, I think it is the fastest way, if you're doing it online, for people to get that know, like, and trust factor easily from you, because they can see you, they can it's like, if you've got the camera positioned reasonably well, it's like you're very close to them, you're sitting next to them, they can hear your tone of voice, they can see you, it's like you're one-to-one with them. So it can build a very close connection, even though it's really not.
So the basically going live in my den became my comfort zone. So that sounds such a foreign idea from someone who's never been live. But once you've been live and you've practiced, you've made that progress, it becomes your comfort zone. So the next step up for me was going live on my public Instagram account. So the best example is today. I randomly sung a duet on my Instagram account and put it on a reel. I'd have never dreamt of doing that 2 years ago. Singing to anyone was a no-go. Playing the piano was a no-go. But I'll play the piano to anyone now, and I'll sing certain contexts, but not all yet. I'm 100% confident with singing. I'll get there. But yeah, it's
we'll have to watch that. What is your Instagram handle?
Tropic Pianist Gamer.
Okay, same. Excellent.
Yeah.
So go and have a look at that, guys. I just wonder whether you got some confidence in yourself because what you'd been through and what you'd come through yourself, what you'd been able to achieve, that you knew that you could organise a wedding, you could do this, you could do that. And so I think there must have been some self-confidence that you can achieve what you set out to do over the live video thing.
The way I overcame it was to find the root of why I had an anxiety disorder, and I found out that the root of it was an extreme fear of judgment from everyone. That's so insightful as well, that you're talking about that you've worked out where the things were coming from, and I think that is so important, because so many people, probably the vast majority of people over live video, as with public speaking, it's a big fear, and there are lots of anxieties and things, and we can feel just completely overwhelmed by all this stuff going on in our heads that we just either run away from it and say, I'm never doing that, or I will try to, and then we keep procrastinating because it's just so many blocks in our head. I used to feel like that.
Yeah, so I think it's really helpful that you've said with help and with time and with persistence and experience and all that, you've worked out where these things are coming from, so you could deal with each individual thing. And I think that gave you confidence, and also you had that community there who were actually asking you to do things, which is really supportive. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
The local mid people joined my group from the offset, and they were like, we'll support you. We might not buy your stuff, but we'll definitely support you morally. And over time, obviously, we built the relationships, and some of them have become my regular customers, which is nice.
Yeah, so tips for people who are listening and watching: if you're anxious and putting off doing live videos, putting off doing podcasts, things just get too overwhelming. Just take from Jen's experience and her knowledge, and you can do it. So thank you, and take care, everyone. Bye.